back to another episode of Brunch and Banter. And I just want to say hello to everybody.
Hello.
I have my sister here with me.
Yes.
And no Chel again. I'm sorry, guys.
Another episode without Giselle.
Yes, she had some prior engagements.
Can we say? I mean, it's not top secret.
No, she's not in the FBI or CIA or something, you know.
She had bridesmaid duties.
Yes, she's in a wedding, and it's this weekend.
Or is she maid of honor?
I think it's bridesmaid.
Yes, it is also her birthday weekend.
Yeah, so everybody give her a shout out, tell her happy birthday, and hope she has a great day today.
Happy birthday, Chad!
Happy birthday weekend!
Woo, woo, woo! We're gonna party without you. Actually, she's already partying. Or probably not yet.
Yeah, we're gonna party it up like this, guys.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Playing with the functions out here.
Too bad we don't have a video version of this because they can't see us.
Yeah, and we're going crazy over here. Okay, so today's episode, I kind of wanted to go down memory lane, you know, growing up in the 90s, because I am a 91 baby, and Nana is
95. And then Giselle, if she was here, she is a 93.
Mm-hmm. We want to see what it is to grow up in the 90s. And I don't know what everybody does now, but I know what I did when I was a kid.
Yes, lots of mischief.
Yes, such as like Saturday morning cartoons, Rugrats, Hey Arnold, Reese's. Reese's is the candy.
Yeah, Recess.
I also watched the what's her name? The Elizabeth girl with the Thornburgs.
Oh, wasn't it just called the Thornburg?
Yeah, I just thought about that right now.
I thought you were going to talk about Maggie and the Ferocious Beast, but that was technically like a cartoon for kids.
No, I didn't watch that.
What else?
Power Rangers.
Powderpuff Girls. Teletubbies.
Those were scary, no lie.
I liked the Teletubbies.
Yeah, but like think about it now, like they look so weird and scary.
Yeah, I liked their
and the big sun as a baby.
Yeah, that was a little weird. Now that you think
about it.
But their little happy face cookies or pancakes or whatever they were.
I think they were pancakes.
Yeah, I liked those. Other than that, I can't think of anything else. I'm sure there's like Little Bear.
Oh yeah.
What's the turtle?
Hey, it's Franklin.
Oh, Franklin.
Coming over to play. Here he comes. Sorry.
No.
I know the whole little intro.
I can't remember much of it.
Oh, I watched Barney. I know there's a lot of controversies with Barney, but I did watch Barney.
I remember watching Barney too.
A lot of people didn't like that. I don't know why.
Maybe because he was kind of creepy looking.
Yeah, that's true. But it was the 90s. Everything passed in the 90s.
Yeah. And things still pass to this day.
Yeah, stuff still passes, sadly.
Yeah.
And then on top of like cartoons, we had like the Game Boys, Nintendo DS, which I think Nintendo DS is more like the 2000s.
Yeah, I think the first, I guess, like little mini console we ever got was the Game Boy Advance.
The square one.
I got the red one, I remember.
I had like a purple one. Hey, I liked purple since back then. I didn't even notice.
Who had the gray one? I thought you had a gray one.
I thought it was like a light purple.
No, the Game Boy Advance, not the...
Oh, no, yeah. I think mine was gray.
That one was the Game Boy...
The regular Game Boy.
Light?
With the big ones, the big games, and you put them in the back. That was like a light purple one.
Yeah, I do remember
that was Mom's, and we would always use it.
I think so. Because then I remember when they got us the Nintendo DS, I gave her my Game Boy Advance so she could still play Tetris. And I think she still has it.
I think I still found mine too. Like years later, I found it. And I don't think I have it. I don't think I put it away because I haven't seen it in a while. But if I do, it's somewhere in my closet.
I know I have my Game Boy Advance. And I have like all the games too.
I tried playing that after when I found it. And it wouldn't charge anymore.
I don't even think I have the charger to mine. I have my Nintendo DS charger. I think that one still works.
Yeah, those were fun. We would play each other all the time.
Yeah. I remember.
Then we got the Wii.
Yes, then we did get the Wii and the Wii Fit that tell everyone that they're overweight.
Yeah. Didn't we have the what is it called? The PlayStation 1?
Oh, yes, we did have the
But
PlayStation,
then it,
but
like it didn't let me play Tomb
it
Raider?
never worked.
Yeah, it was always, like, broken. Like, something always happened.
Then we also had the PlayStation 2,
Yeah.
I believe, and we played a lot of
Mhm.
007. Well, no, I think you played a lot of 007. I
Mhm.
remember playing a lot of Midnight Club.
I think me and B and Ched would always play 007, and then we would always play Midnight Club. The tag game was so much fun.
We would always play the cruise mode, I think it was called,
Mhm.
and we would push all the cars into the ditch.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah. Oh my
Oh,
gosh. Those were fun, though.
yeah. I can't remember any other game we played. I think you played Tomb Raider.
Oh, yeah, you know what? I did play Tomb Raider a lot.
Lara Croft?
Lara Croft. Yeah. I used to play that all the time.
But we did play outside a lot.
Yeah, we played outside so much. We always had, like, water balloon fights with our neighbors.
Yes, and then our grandma would watch us because we had, uh, what is it? A double income household. So
Yes.
our grandma would watch us, and since our cousins lived next door, she'd watch all the grandkids,
Yeah.
and so in the total, it's 5 of us,
Yeah.
and she would sit in the living room and tell us, "You can't go past," because we lived in a cul-de-sac,
Mhm.
so she's like, "You can't go past this line because then I can't see you," and we would get in trouble when we'd go past it because I remember I like to ride my scooter all around the whole cul-de-sac, and especially, like, where the entrance of the cul-de-sac is, like, that was the most fun part because it was the smoothest,
Yeah.
and she would yell at us and be like, "I can't see you if you go over there. Someone's gonna take you." I remember
But
that.
no lie, that's real. Somebody could take you.
Yeah, but also because we lived in a cul-de-sac and, there's only one way in and out, I feel like we
Yeah.
never really got any traffic besides people who live there.
Yeah, that's true. I remember one time seeing cars speed by and we were like, "Oh, it's a speed chase," but it was probably
Yeah,
just cars speeding by.
yeah. Showing off their skills.
I don't know if you remember, Nana, we used to have this, like, I don't even know what it was, but it was, like, little pink things, and you would put them together and it would make, like, a I don't know, like, I wanna say it would make, like, a little, like, either a like, a baby carrying stroller thing or a baby crib or something. I don't know whose it was.
I feel like I could vaguely remember that.
Yeah, I would always take it apart and I would play aliens and I would pretend there were aliens on top of our house, and I'd be shooting them with those. I think me and B would do that a lot.
I don't remember that part, but I think I remember the
I
crib.
would. I had a very strong imagination.
My brain is just full of trauma.
Oh.
My brain has blocked out too much memory for my own sake.
Yes, I think so too. So I don't know if you remember, but, like, I felt like we had a lot of limited, like, not as much parental surveillance. Like, our grandma would always be cooking, knitting, doing something, and we would
Mhm.
just be around the house going from house to house and chilling.
Yeah.
Where now I feel like there's a lot of more helicopter parents.
Oh, yeah, just because, like, you can't trust anyone.
Yeah.
You legit can't even trust your own family sometimes.
Yeah. Like, I feel like, also, well, that and because, like, I feel like a lot of people stay at home now, like, stay-at-home parents too, so you're, like,
Yeah.
around your kids all the time. So I guess that could kinda lead to helicopter parenting,
Yeah, I could see that for sure.
like, people who are obsessed with their kids.
Yeah, or their kids are obsessed with them, which makes sense, because they need you, but, like,
Yeah.
they just follow you everywhere.
To the bathroom,
I'm
everywhere.
speaking from experience. I'm just kidding.
So I feel like in the 90s, we were able to be just, like, simple, do what we want. I don't feel like we were bored because we always found something to do, and we were very creative.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you remember, but we did, like, a my dad reminded me of this the other day. We did a girls', club in one of our old sheds.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I remember that.
We painted it pink. I guess we had, old paint in the house, and we painted
Yeah.
it pink. We
Uh,
added, like, little flowers to it and little, because we had, like, sponge brushes or something.
yeah, I think
Because I
that's
remember putting clouds.
when dad did the sponge paint in the house, and it was, like, that
Mhm.
hot pink, and then it was, like, too dark, and they ended up changing the color eventually.
Yeah.
That's what we did to the shed.
Yeah, and then my parents were reupholstering the house, so, like, they
Uh-huh.
were removing all the carpet,
Yeah.
and we added carpet from that carpet. My dad added carpet for
And
us.
and to add, the carpet from the house was also, like, a burgundy.
Yeah, so it was very pink and burgundy in there, so it was we said it was a girls' club and no boys were allowed,
Yes,
which coincidentally, we were 4 girls to 1 guy.
and we would let him in.
We would
We'd
let
be
him in,
like,
we didn't
"You
care.
have, what is it? VIP access because you're our cousin."
Not like
Uh,
anybody else was gonna go in there.
Honestly, I'm so shocked that we, like, would be in there for quite a while because I can't
Mhm.
imagine what animals or insects were in there. Because that shed was
Filthy.
holding on by, like, a thread. Like,
Yeah.
that thing was
There were spider
rusty
webs all
and
over it, let me just say that.
old and yeah, and it got torn down, obviously,
Yeah.
after, like, a while. But that was actually really fun doing all that.
Yeah. I actually thought about that too, like, all the animals that could have been in there. I was like, "Ugh," nowadays, I probably wouldn't have gone in there
Oh, heck
anymore.
no.
I would've been so creeped out.
Yeah. There could've been a maybe not a rat, maybe a mouse. There could've been a mouse colony under it. They're like, "Oh, here come the girls. Everyone's scared."
You're dumb.
Yeah, I remember. That was a fun time. Oh, that just reminds me of not us exposing ourselves, but when I don't remember how old I was, but it was me and our younger sister, Lily. We opened up a restaurant.
Oh,
Do you remember
the
that?
ruby red
We
girls, the
we
ruby
were
girls.
the French Angel Ruby Girls. That's what our restaurant was called. And
Yes.
we would, like,
But
go
look at it
get
now, you like to, like, cook, you
I
like to make
know, but
stuff,
the
Lily's
funny
does
part
too.
is, like, we would legit, like, go get food from, like, the fridge or food that mom made, and then write out go to our parents and tell them the menu, and then they'd, tell us what they want, and we'd go get it for them, and then we would charge them, like, 30 cents, 10 cents, and they would pay us.
Oh my gosh. You guys were they would buy the food, and then they would have to pay again for the food, an extra
Yes.
tax on
We
top
were
of the tax.
entrepreneurs.
You're dumb. I mean, it's not much different now, like, if you were to open a restaurant, you would have to physically buy the food and get taxed for it, and then you pay have people
Mhm.
pay on top of that too.
Yeah, except it's not yourself paying for the food again.
Yeah, that's true. Unless you go eat at your own restaurant and you don't have any, like, employee discounts.
Free food, just steal it.
And so, like, compared to now, I feel like a lot of kids grow up with their smartphones and their tablets and their YouTube access, social media, cyberbullying, all of that is in there now.
Yeah. I feel like that's probably the hardest part about growing up in the world now is, like, kids have like, obviously, as a parent, there's only so many restrictions you can do on
Mhm,
whether it be, like, if you let them have an Instagram or if you let them have a Snapchat or I'm assuming most people have access to YouTube because that one's free and you don't have to make an account, but, like,
mhm,
kids are exposed to so much negativity and, like, there's, like, these little 12-year-old girls who are, like, questioning, like, what their body looks like because they're seeing this, like, 27-year-old model. It's like,
mhm.
well, you're still growing. Like, you can't
Yeah.
compare yourself.
I feel like that is, like, such a big struggle growing up now, you go through so much more mental health, and I mean, I know we probably went through it too when we were kids, but I feel like it was probably downplayed more back in the day, and now it's just a lot more, exposure to it.
Yeah, but, like, I even think about it, like, because like, I didn't get a MySpace or a Facebook till I was, what, 12 or 13, and now
Mhm.
some kids are having it, like, as young as 8 or 9. Like, I couldn't
Yeah,
imagine the mental toll on a kid that young seeing other people's lives, and you can only control so much of what they see.
that's true, and, like, and then they're just like, "Well, all my friends have it, how come I can't have it?" Kinda thing, and you're
Yeah.
just like, well, you don't wanna be like, "No, you can't have this, no, you can't have that," and be, like, super, super strict because,
Right.
they'll do it behind your back most of the time.
Yeah.
So, it's either you can see it being done or you know it's being done, but you can't do anything about it because it's being done behind your back.
Yeah, or at least probably, like, let them have it, but then you also have access to the account so you can get on there and see if they're doing anything bad.
Like, maybe where, you have it on your phone, but they could use it on your phone.
Yeah, that'd probably be smarter.
And you're like, "Okay, go ahead and use it," But it's
Yeah,
on my phone, you can have it for an hour, you can use your social media, but that's it, 1 hour and that's it?
yeah. That's actually so smart.
"Oh, look at me." Just kidding. I also feel like in school I mean, I know it's for the probably for the better that they have more, technology now, but I feel like penmanship is so bad.
Oh my gosh.
We don't do handwriting no more. I like to write stuff out, and my writing is decent.
Yeah.
I've been told my writing's pretty decent, but, like, I see some other people's writing, and I'm just like, "Whoa, your
Yeah.
writing is so bad."
I know, cause like, my mother-in-law, like, she writes semi-cursive, but, like, it's pretty, you know? And I'm
Mhm.
like, "Oh, I wish I could write like that." I remember doing cursive in school, but I was so bad at it, and
Me too.
obviously, you only get better with practice, and I've even thought about this, like, as an adult, is buying those, like, cursive, practice books
Oh, that's
and
smart.
just practicing, cause I think cursive and calligraphy are the same, you know?
Mhm.
Calligraphy is just
A
more
lot of kids don't know how
artistic.
to read cursive, though.
That's true, yes. Even I struggle sometimes where if it's too, um
Then
no, if it's too, like, together,
Mhm.
I can't tell what it says, but I can kinda make it out and be like, "I can't tell if that's an N or an M or an R." I'm just
Oh, that's
kidding.
the only thing I don't like in cursive, the M and the N, they're so similar.
Yeah, I feel like I could envision almost every single letter in cursive in my head, but I probably could not write it out. Like, I don't know if my hand can do it.
Yeah, I think the only what letter I actually like to write in cursive is, like, the F. I think that's a pretty letter to write. It's the small F. It's like this and then like this.
Yeah. I always liked the L and the Z. The Z was easy.
Oh, the Z is cool.
Yeah.
I always wish, like, my name was, like, different so I could have, like, fancy, cool letters to write
I
in
know
cursive.
I hate the letter A in cursive.
It's so
So
boring.
whenever, 'cause I kinda, like, do my name in semi-cursive when I'm signing something, the A is always a normal A, I just make it fancy, and then the rest in cursive.
I know the A is, like it's like the little A, but bigger.
Yeah,
So what I do is actually do part of an A, and then I just go in and do a little swoop for the line in the middle, and that's my cursive A.
that's cute. See, you could just design your own cursive name.
Yeah, you could just play with it. It's fun.
Yeah.
I also feel like there's, like, also a shift in parenting styles, which I don't know if it's just maybe because to me, at least, it stands out because I feel like it's more maybe it's because it's more gentle parenting
Yeah.
rather than, like, stricter parenting like I'm used to.
Yeah, there has been a huge shift in the way people parent. And, like, gentle parenting is a really big thing that popped up a few years ago because now it's like, back then, you would see, a kid having a meltdown or a tantrum in a store, and then you could possibly see the mom maybe, like, spank her kid, to calm them down or, like, yelling at them and dragging them out of the store. Or, like, now it's like, oh, they're having a tantrum, you'll probably see a mom, stoop down to their level and be like, "Hey, what's wrong? What's going on?" Or even just letting them have their tantrum 'cause you can't just let them, because once the tantrum happens, it's gonna happen, you're gonna have to let them go
Yeah.
through it, and it'll only last a few minutes, so you some people literally will just stand there and wait for their kid to get over the tantrum and then be like, "You good? You Gucci? Alright, let's go."
That's funny. Where it was if it was my mom, she'd look at you and she'd be like
Uh-huh, yeah, she'd give you that look and you're
give you the
like, "Oh,
stare.
crap, okay." Or the what would she say? "¿Te callas o te callo?"
Yeah. Yeah, or she's like, "Imma give you a reason to cry."
Yeah. Or
But
like
she would never hit us in person. I mean, in person. She would yes, she would hit us in person. She would never hit us in public.
nah, she gonna hit you through email.
She'd be like, "Smack." Wacha.
Yeah,
Just kidding.
because, like, if you think about it, like, now if you ever see a parent hitting a kid in public, which is probably very rare, they're most likely gonna get mean looks their way.
Oh, yeah. I definitely will get mean looks their way. And I feel like too, like with all the different like differences from growing up, it causes kids and probably grown-ups too, like people who are growing up still in this era, teenagers, children, it causes them to have more anxiety. Overstimulation is like so big, and self-esteem struggles as well, like you were pointing out earlier. I
Yeah.
feel like overstimulation is such a big thing right now.
Oh, yeah.
Because to me, like, I can be overstimulated socially where I don't wanna do anything, but not, like, overstimulated where I'm, like, doing a million things at once. Because I'll be like, "Okay, today I have to do this. Okay, I'm gonna go and edit this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna record this, and I'm gonna edit that. I'm gonna do this." And that's fine.
Yeah.
But if, like, 3 people wanna hang out today, I'm just like, "No, that's too much."
Uh-huh. There is definitely, like, this agenda that you have to, like, get so much done in one day, and then if you don't do anything, because let's say you did so much the day prior, and then today you wanna just relax, and they're like, "Oh, you're lazy.
Yeah.
Like, get up and do something."
I hate that. I hate that people think that you're lazy because you don't wanna do something on let's say, like, over the weekend, you don't wanna do anything, so you just stay home and you just chill.
Yeah.
But in our household, that'd be considered lazy because you're
Mhm.
supposed to do something every single day when it's like, well, I'm kinda tired of working Monday through Friday, and then I still like for me, like, I go to the gym, I get up, I go to work, and I do this, I do that, whatever, and then the weekend comes, I'm just like, I kinda don't wanna do anything, I kinda just wanna stay home and relax, and now I'm lazy.
Yeah. It really be like that.
Yeah, exactly.
And I wanna say, like, even as kids too, like, if we woke up too late, they'd be like, "You just sleep all day."
Exactly.
And I'm like, "I literally just woke up at 10. Chill, please."
Exactly. Which is, like, a difference that I saw when I went to go visit you compared to, like, how I remember if I was Biddy's age and I was waking up at 12 o'clock in the afternoon, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, whatever, and my
Yeah.
mom or my grandma would be like, "You're so lazy, you're getting up so late. It's because of that phone, you need to turn it off, you need to get off your games, you need to go to sleep earlier." But it's kinda like, you're
Yeah.
on vacation, you don't have to go to sleep early, you know?
Oh, I know, that kid right now, besides Biddy, is, my brother-in-law, but he's, like, 15, whatever. Right now, he is literally, like, up all night till, like, maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 a.m., it just depends, and then he wakes up, like, 2 p.m., you know, 1 p.m. He's crazy.
Yeah, so, like, stuff like that is I
Yeah.
mean, you're a kid, you're playing games, you're having fun, that's fine, let them be kids, you know? I
No,
mean,
that's true,
yeah,
yeah.
maybe not till 5 in the morning, though. I would say maybe, like, if you're not going to school, it's summer, okay, I'll let you stay up till midnight playing your game. Say, if I'm going to bed, you're going to bed kinda thing, you know?
Yeah, I get that. Especially now with them having access to, like, so much, like, internet,
Yeah.
and you don't know what they're looking up or what they're doing. But that also reminds me, do you remember when I think it was in possibly in high school or junior high. I must have been in junior high and you were in high school when, our parents were like I don't know whose fault it was. I wanna say it was your fault. But
Okay.
do you remember when we had to put our phones in a basket in their room at night?
Oh, it was probably my fault because I was the one always on my phone.
Yeah, I know, so I'm saying it probably was your fault because I don't remember.
But that's, like see, like, stuff like that, it's, like, too much control. You know what I mean? Like, like, kids are gonna be kids, they're gonna stay up no matter what. Guess what? I found your hiding spot, and I still knew where it was, and I went during the day, and I looked at my phone.
No, I remember, I think it had to be in the basket at, like, 9 p.m., and then we
Oh,
could
yeah.
pick it up in the morning. I remember that.
That's outrageous.
Then you wanna know what I used to do? I used to play my Nintendo, and then I would hear, like, mom or dad walking towards our room, or it was I think I might have been by myself, I'm not really sure. They would just, like, go check up on us at night, and I would just, like I would hear the doorknob, like, turn, and I'd quickly turn my Nintendo towards my chest so they wouldn't see the light, and pretend to be asleep, and then once they left, I'd go back to playing my Nintendo.
Oh my gosh. No.
Oh. You gotta
That's funny.
outsmart them, you know?
See, this is why she didn't get in trouble, and I was the one who got in trouble.
I just was more sneaky. Not that sneaky. I don't really think I did anything terrible, if you ask me.
I would probably disobey my parents the most, and I would, get in trouble. They would take away my phone. I
Mhm.
wouldn't get it for, like, 2 days. I would still go find it, and I would still go check it out, turn it on, see if anybody texted me, and then turn it back off.
I don't think I ever got my phone taken away. I can't remember.
Or, like, where you I would leave my phone on the in the living room, and then I would go do something in my room and then come back and go get my phone, and it magically disappeared, and then I would ask mom, and she's like, "Well, where did you leave it?" I was like, "Right here." "Well, it's not there, is it?" And I'm like, "Well, it should be because that's where I left it." So then I would go to her room and I would find it.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm just like, "You're so freaking
What? So what?
you're so controlling."
Low key though.
Try to teach me a lesson, but I already knew where it was.
That's funny. I didn't know she did that to you.
Yeah, she would do it all the time.
That's funny.
And I always knew it was her who took it.
She's just trying to play games.
Yeah, I don't play games. No, I'm just kidding. I feel like we all struggle with self-esteem struggles though.
Oh yeah.
Cause like earlier, me and my sister were talking about because we have a YouTube and I'm gonna post up some stuff and took pictures of myself and I was like telling her, I was like, damn, that's what I look like. Like, why did I let myself get like that? But it's kind of like you don't really notice it because you're just living your everyday life.
Yeah.
But when I saw that, it like almost tugged at my self esteem a little bit. But then like I didn't let it get to me because I don't know. I feel like it's easier now that I'm 33. I feel like I'm grown to the age where, like, it doesn't affect me as much as it did when I was in my early teens, early 20s.
Yeah. I agree, yeah. Because it's like now I feel like then it's almost like I don't want to say you live for your looks, but you kind of do.
You do, yeah, you do, because you get judged on how you look all the time.
Yeah, and like even then now people will still judge obviously, but it's more like you just like to live life to experience new things or live life
Mhm.
for yourself, not just for your look.
Yeah, and I feel too it had to do with the fact that I don't know if it was when yeah, I'm pretty sure, like, when we were growing up, when you would go to, like, the doctor and stuff, they'd be like, "Oh, you're a little bit heavier than you should be. You need to lose weight." And it was all about the
Yeah.
numbers. And now
Yeah.
it's like, well, it's not all about the numbers because a number is just like a number. You could be that could be muscle, that could be bones, that could be this, that could be that,
Mhm.
whatever. So it's not
Yeah.
like it's strictly you need to lose weight if you're heavier. It's more like, well, let's look at your blood work and see how your blood work's doing. Oh, your blood works
Yeah.
is good, so you're fine.
And yeah, like the BMI whole chart
Mhm,
thing is just incorrect. And like, let's say you have two girls the same height, same weight, they'll both look different,
mhm.
because just also too based off genetics, you carry your weight differently. Like there's different body shapes, so no one will ever look the same at the same weight if they're the same height.
Yeah, and even if people look at, like, body recommendations, like, where you should be, like, weight-wise, I would say don't go by that
No.
because my height is I'm 5'1". According to the internet, I should be at 105 to 120. I've been at 125, and let me tell you, my head looked way too big for my body. And I was like, "Never again." And I'm like, "And I still gotta lose another 10 pounds?" I don't think so.
Yeah.
So it's just absurd.
It is, and it's funny because, like, when we had went to the dietitian and, like, we lost all that weight, the way I saw myself in the mirror, I never changed.
Exactly.
Like, to myself, I looked the same every single time, and I get, like,
Mhm.
all these compliments from people like, "Oh my gosh, you look so good, you lost so much weight, blah, blah, blah."
That's another thing I don't like too, when people compliment you on losing weight, because you don't know what somebody's going through.
Yeah, because, like, that's, like, my biggest thing, like, talking about weight and, like, people losing weight or, like, people talking about, like, how big you are or whatnot, that's, like, my biggest trigger because growing up my whole life, our grandma, just like our family in general would just like make fun of like how big I was. Like my grandma would be like, "Oh, two of my thighs can be one of yours." And I'm like,
Mhm.
"Oh, I see. You don't love me because I'm fat." And then once I lost weight, she's like, "Oh my gosh, look at how skinny you're getting." And then it's like, "Oh, now I have worth to you because I lost weight." Like that's just like I don't know, it's just that's always just been so triggering for me.
I think weight is triggering for both of us because, like, the other day she was like, I bought this shirt, but it doesn't fit me. It's an extra large. Do you want it?" I told her, "No, I'm at 2X. I can't wear it." And she's like, "Oh," I told her, "Oh, maybe I'll lose weight by the time Nana comes." So the other day she saw me and she goes, "Oh, how much have you lost?" I was like, "I lost 30 pounds." And she's like, "Hmm." Like, "Oh, cool."
Yeah.
So sarcastic, you know? And I'm just like, "Why are you so set like that?" I'm like, "Why are you like that? Like, that's not right. Like, that's not like, you could be like, 'Oh, good job. Maybe you'll lose more.' I don't know, like, but say it nicely, you know?"
Yeah, that almost reminds me, oh, I don't wanna I'll say it, but I don't want mom to feel bad, but do you remember that one year when I was like, "Oh, let me go surprise my parents when I was coming home?"
Yeah.
Well, that year, I think it was, like, the highest I had ever weighed, and I
Mhm.
don't remember how much I weighed, but it was the highest, and I was like, "I don't wanna go back home because I know they're gonna judge me," and I'm like, "But they shouldn't because they're my family." And I remember walking in because I we went through the back of the house, like, we went through the gate, through the back, through the sunroom, into the kitchen, and then our parents were in the living room. I
Mhm.
remember walking into the living room, and then mom scanned me up and down and almost was, like, disappointed, but then they still got up to give me a hug. I can never get that out of my head. All I see is her face of disappointment, and I'm just like, "Man."
I know, and it's like, it's so sad that it's like that, you know? Like, our parents are like that
I
because they're
know.
set in that mentality of when they grew up, and that's what it was all about, you know?
Yeah, and it's like, I understand that they love us and all they want is for us to be healthy, but I feel like there's so many different ways you could go about it.
Yes, there are. I know, like, remember when we were going, to Rochelle? And I know we're supposed to be talking about, I mean, technically, this is memory lane.
Yeah, and Rochelle, by the way, was this dietitian that we went to.
Yeah. Well, I remember she had us on, like, a 1,200 calorie diet.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, but 1,200, my body, like, I looked it up and, like, maybe 1,500 is good, like, 1,600 right now, I'm trying to eat 1,600 and I'm losing weight, but, like,
yeah,
1,200? I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" Like, now I think about it, I'm like, "That's
yeah.
nothing." Like, she just had me eating salads and nuts and freaking chicken all day.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is that, like, I'm what, like, 7 inches taller than you, and
Yeah,
she just had mine, like, 100 calories more. It was
exactly.
1,300, and,
And,
like
like sorry, go ahead.
but, like, after going to school, and getting my degree in nutrition, it's like, "Ma'am, why were you starving us?" Like, obviously, yeah, I lost, like, 60 pounds in 4 months, but, like, come on.
That's a lot. That's an absurd amount in 4
I
months. You're
know.
supposed to maybe only lose, like, a pound a week? What is that?
1 to 2 pounds a week.
Yeah, 4 months is for 20 weeks, 20 times 2, that's maybe 40 pounds.
Yeah, and then it's like, I remember anytime we'd go to her, I would dread going to her if I
Me
hadn't
too.
lost, like, a full pound, because she'd basically, like, say, "Well, what are you doing wrong? Like, are you sneaking food?" And I'm like, "No, I've been doing what you tell me to do." Like, bodies plateau. Like, what do you expect?
Yes, and then if you're not eating enough, your body will counteract, and it'll start saving up all your fat, and, like, it goes into, like, starvation mode pretty much.
Yeah.
Well, we could do a whole episode on this, but, like, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't do what you want it to do when you
Yeah.
give it less food, and less food, and less food, you know?
And it's like, "When will I get my next meal?"
Yeah. I remember, when she had us on that 1,200 calorie diet and I was going to the gym and I told her I was going to the gym. I think I told her, I'm pretty sure I told her.
Yeah.
And I had just lost like 30 pounds too, like all on my own. And she still had me on like 1,200 calories and I went to the gym and right away I felt so lightheaded. I felt like I was gonna like freaking faint. And
Yeah.
I was like, I need something. I need to eat something because I don't have energy for this right now. So I think I ended up every single night I would like cheat and I would have a chocolate muffin right before the gym and then I would come home. And I still lost weight and she never told me anything.
Yeah, I feel like that just says, so much. You know, Obviously you can have things in moderation and everything's
Mhm.
gonna be okay.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the good thing is I did find out I was lactose intolerant through her.
Yeah. I remember, I think I was the only one who didn't have like any issues out of all of us.
Yeah. I think my kidneys were overworked or something like that, or overworking.
I don't remember that.
But I've been getting blood work the last 2 years and nobody has told me that since.
Well, I know you were obviously younger then, but naturally as you get older, your kidneys just kind of slow down.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on back then, but yeah, that was our self-esteem. Which, I mean, it kinda leads me to, like, the pressure to fit in.
Oh
You always
yeah.
wanna be fitting in, like, because this is the new norm, and you wanna do this, and you wanna do that, and you wanna stick with this, whatever, and I feel like we shouldn't feel pressured to fit in. I feel like I don't know what age it is exactly, but there was an age where we just kinda, like, stopped trying to fit into everything, and we're just like, "You know what? This is me, and this is how I'm gonna live my life, and I like this about me, and I'm gonna continue doing this."
Honestly, I feel like for me, that was in high school because I remember this goes back to being a bigger person, like being fat. But I remember in
Don't say that.
but it's the truth. Like, when someone calls me fat, like it doesn't even bother me. 'Cause I'm like,
I say I'm
well,
chunky.
yeah, that's true. I am. Like, what am I gonna say? No, no, I'm not. Like,
No, but
obviously,
I feel like
like,
fat is so mean, it's so shaming. That's the connotation behind it because of the way we grew up. So I feel like I like the word
yeah.
chunky or I'm a little bit on the thicker side.
I'm like, yeah, I'm big. I'm big
I'm thick.
boned. But like, I remember in junior high, I feel like I stood out like a sore thumb, and like I had a hard time in junior high, like trying to fit in, and I gave up in high school eventually. But I remember all I wore was like tracksuit because that's all that would
Mhm,
fit. Because I never wore leggings, and I didn't know about leggings,
mhm,
and all the clothes made for plus size people back then were ugly, like literally
mhm,
grandma-esque stuff.
mhm,
And I was like, well, I don't want to wear no paisley shirt, no who knows what checkered, like, come on. And so mom would buy me tracksuits, and I had like many colors. I had a brown one, a pink one, a red one, a blue one, a black one, and I liked my tracksuits, and I feel like, that's who I was. And then in high school, she had me start wearing like capri jeans, and I think that's what I would mostly wear. And then that's when we found out about Fashion Bug. I
mhm.
don't know if it exists still, but they had a
I don't
little
think
bit
so.
more trendier plus size clothes. And they would also size their things like, let's say you were a size 22, they would mark it as like size 6. So it would make you
Mm,
feel smaller than you actually
yeah.
were. It's kind of just like toying with your mind.
Yeah, it is.
The number technically shouldn't really matter because
I guess I like small, medium, large, extra large, like
but
2X.
that's why I also like that one saying where like clothes were meant to fit you, not you fit into the clothes.
Mhm,
I think that's how it goes. And so
yes.
in high school, I remember I kind of just was like, you know what? I just don't even care anymore. I don't even want to try to fit in. I feel like I just stopped caring, and this whole new like thought in my head was like, "Oh, no one really cares." Because like people never commented on anything. I never really got any looks in high school that much. Like, yeah, sure, I got bullied like maybe a little bit, but like not as much as elementary and junior high.
Mhm,
And so I was like, "Oh, okay, people don't care. I don't care."
yeah.
That's kind of where I'm just like, "Okay, then I don't care to fit in anymore."
Yeah, that makes sense. I don't know when I stopped caring. I don't know, I never had that, like, moment where I was just like, "Oh, people don't care."
Yeah, I feel like maybe now, even I don't know if I don't really. Okay, I want to say I don't care, but sometimes I do care now. Like if I go out to a store and like I see a group of teenage girls, They're still so mean.
Oh, yeah, teenage kids are always gonna be mean, they're always gonna judge you, and they'll be like they'll give you a look, and it's just like, "Okay,
And I'm just
get over
like,
yourself, ma'am."
"Hi? You don't know what I'm trying to do?"
Yeah, I feel like, to a certain sense, I feel like we care, but I don't think I care exactly to the fact where, like, I care what others think exactly. It's more like I
Yeah.
care about what I see on myself and what I'm looking at.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
it's
for
for the
sure.
benefit of me caring about what
Yeah.
myself, you know? And I'm not saying I don't love myself, I do. But it's more like, oh, I see myself, I'm like, "Oh, I'm kinda big. Maybe I should, like, try to, like, fix that a little bit."
I feel like now I care more about my health versus what I look
Mhm.
like.
That's why, like, when, like, I, like, signed up for, like, MyFitnessPal, which is, like, what I use to track food and stuff, it tells you what your ideal goal is, and I'm like, I don't wanna say I have an ideal weight goal. In a sense, I
Yeah,
do, but I don't. I have an ideal, like, health goal in a way, like, I wanna lower this, I wanna lower that. I wanna
right.
be at a good weight where, like, if and when I get pregnant, it won't, like, jeopardize me as much.
Yeah. But don't forget, the man matters too, because the placenta is all up to him. Like preeclampsia is linked to the man. Gestational diabetes is linked to the man. So it's like
Yeah.
if and when people start trying for kids, it's like, okay, like realistically, the woman will do anything and like all the healthy things she can for 9 months carrying this kid, then the man should 9 months prior
Mhm.
spend that time trying to be as healthy as possible.
"Francisco, where you at?" Just kidding.
But it's true. It's like,
It is true though. It takes both. I mean, it's technically it's both of our houses too because it's half him, half me. But there are a
yeah,
lot of things that are linked to male DNA as as female DNA too. But like it affects your child, both of you. So
yeah,
I know like when you go to the doctor and then it's like okay, we'll try to eat this, try to eat that. But it's now it's like it's because it's what's in the female now. But
yeah,
pre pregnancy, you should also look out for your health.
yeah, for sure.
And I mean, like, also, when I wanna look out for my health, I wanna be like, I wanna be able to go up and down the stairs without having to be like
Yeah, seriously. Oh my gosh. Going up and down the stairs, I get so winded. And like going back to how you said like my fitness pal gives you goals and you don't know. I don't know how much I want to lose either, but I'm like I know for sure, I want to lose like a certain number of pounds just to like be
Mhm.
decently healthy.
Same here. So I feel like, the pressure to fit in is, like, in a way, it's always there,
Yeah.
but it becomes less as important as it is in your earlier days of growing up.
Yeah, and even too, like, there's other ways that are pressured to fit in. Like, it can be like your social status, it doesn't have to
Mhm.
be linked about like how we look. Like, there are so many other things that go in with that. Like, you see all these influencers and celebrities, and, they have like all these beautiful houses, and it's like you want that too because you want to fit in with them. But think about it realistically, like they're millionaires
Oh,
and,
yeah.
who knows what, you can afford. Like obviously you want a roof over your head, doesn't necessarily matter what it looks like because you can always, make things look better. But
That's true. Like, we compare ourselves to these people who are making millions of dollars, thousands of dollars more than us,
yeah,
and we want the same things they do. They're slightly unattainable, but then we get mad and
yeah, get mad.
yeah, they do go on vacations a lot.
They do.
Get mad. Get even. I'm just kidding.
And even too, it's like kids born into wealth, you know?
Mhm.
Like I remember seeing this one TikTok where it's like it was this girl saying, "Your skin's not ugly, you're just not rich." Or something like that. Because like
That's
obviously,
funny.
like celebrities and them, they have like really nice skin and it's just because they can afford like really good stuff.
Yeah, that's true. And I feel like too now there's a rise of mental health awareness now, which I feel like it should have always been there, but
Yes.
I'm glad it's more we're more aware of the different challenges people face with mental health.
Yeah, I think we are definitely way more understanding as a society now. I wanna say we're less judgmental, but then also more judgmental at the same time.
Yeah, like, you know that saying, "Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never" what is it? "Harm me?"
I think so.
Well, anyway, words do harm people, guys.
Yes, words do hurt people. So don't be mean.
And don't be mean to nobody.
Your face uses more muscles to frown than it does to smile. Therefore, you'll get less wrinkles smiling. So be nice.
Okay, yes, what she said. Be nice. I feel like we're in a very tech-heavy world, so we need to be able to create balance to be able to still live our own lives and still, like, enjoy the nostalgia of growing up, you know? And still, like, be able to do all that fun stuff outside and not just be on our phones all the time.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that reminds me of a TikTok I saw last night where someone recorded this little kid, I don't know, maybe like a preteen. He wasn't like little, but he had a phone and his parents had actually gotten him a flip phone, not an iPhone. And I'm like, that's so
I wanna
smart
do that.
because realistically, if you do want to get your kid a phone so they can text their friends, that's all they need. They only need, to be able to text and call. So, like, let's say your kid
Mhm.
is 12 and you don't want them to necessarily be in all the social media stuff. And, like our first phones were just talk and text phones. And so you can let them experience a talk and text phone. And, maybe the next year you're like, okay, you did so good with this, and maybe we'll upgrade you to a smartphone.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. I feel like I would wanna start my kids on a flip phone, but at the same time, I don't want them to go through bullying and, like, people will be like, "Oh, you just have a flip phone," like kids are.
Yeah, that would make sense. But then I'd be like, "Well, you have no reason to use your phone in school. It's there for
Oh,
emergencies."
that's true. That's true. You got me
I
there,
mean,
Nana.
besides like recess or what do they call it, lunch and break.
Yeah. Plus, like, nowadays, I feel like I would want to give my kids a phone at a certain age, probably, like, after 12. That would be only if me and Francisco are both working and we have full-time jobs, we don't get off till, like, 5, and they have to go to, I don't know, a babysitter's house or whatever,
Yeah.
and I would need to be able to be like, "Hey, are you off for did you make it to the babysitter's house already?" Like,
Mhm.
just like, communication-wise.
Yeah.
Other than that, if I'm not working and he's the only one working, at least like a 9 to 5, then I don't see the purpose of them having a phone because I would be, well, you know what? Yes and no, because nowadays you hear more and more about like school shootings and stuff, and that's scary, and you
Yeah.
want to be able to communicate with your child. So for that purpose, I feel like yes, I would want them to have a phone.
I do think like, it's almost like 8-year-olds are already getting phones, and what is that, like second grade?
Yeah, I don't know about that age though.
But, like, most of the time, it's so that the parents can reach them,
Mhm.
and it's pretty restrictive where they can only call certain people where, they have the number saved, and those are the only people they can call besides, emergency lines.
Yeah.
I don't even know if they can text, but it's just so that the parent can get a hold of the child where the child is not necessarily gonna use the phone, to talk and text.
That's true, I could do that, like, wasn't there, like I remember there being an advertisement for a phone that was just for texting, no internet when we were growing up. I can't remember what it was called, like, something with the June bug or something like that?
Oh, I remember that. That also reminded me of that really small phone. Do you remember that really skinny small phone that was like literally like
The jukebox? I think it's this one. Imma share screens with you, like, anybody could see me, but
sharing screens? Y'all are missing. I'm just kidding.
this one?
Yes. I liked my first phone. My first phone was the NV2.
Oh, I had one of those too.
Yeah.
I think we got a deal.
I think yours was the black one, and then I had like the burgundy one.
Mhm.
I really liked that one because like you could flip out and you'd have the keyboard. Oh, I actually miss that phone. That phone was so nice.
I used to okay, so my first phone was a flip phone, and then I got a T phone. I don't know if that was what it was called, but it was literally
Oh
so cool.
yeah.
And then I got the MV too, and, mine the only thing I didn't like about it was that mine eventually kinda broke, like, it unhinged from one of the sides, and it would, like, sometimes work.
Yeah.
So, then I got an iPhone C, like, the colored ones with the colored background. It was,
Oh,
like, a plastic
that was
background.
the
Back
5S.
5S, whatever it's called, yeah, that. Got a blue one, and then I broke it at the gym.
I remember that one.
I fed it to the ladder by accident. Then I got my mom's Samsung until I was able to upgrade, and then I eventually just went to the iPhone route.
See, I had my NV2, and then I had another slidey phone, like, instead of it flipping out, it would slide, like, up like that for the keyboard,
Mhm,
and then I think that one, I ended up I remember I got my job and it got wet somehow
mhm.
under the counter, and so it didn't work anymore, and so then mom let me use one of her old phones that was, like, fully touch screen, and I hated that thing so much. And that thing, it didn't even last me that long because it ended up it fell. I remember I was in the bathroom and it fell and it broke.
Mm,
And so then I think we just ended up going to the store and they literally had we went to Walmart. They had like no options for text and talk phones. So I was basically forced to get an iPhone and I ended up getting the iPhone 5. I remember it was like one of the first ones where they had the color gold as an option.
yeah.
I used that phone until it literally, like, would not work where I had to be charged to it, or I had to be connected to the charger for me to even use it. Then I got the 6S, maybe it was 6S Plus, and then after that, I got the iPhone 11 Pro Max, and that's what I have now.
Dang, that's a big ol' jump.
I know. I'm telling you, I wait until my phone literally, like, does not work.
I think I got the iPhone 5, and then I think I got the 8 after that? I can't remember. I remember the 8 though, for sure. Maybe the 6 and then the 8. I always skip, like, generations. And
Yeah.
then from the 8, I went to the 13, which I think that's what I have now, the 13 Plus.
I think you and Lily have the same phone.
And dad too, I think.
Yeah. But his gets upgraded through the company.
Yeah. I didn't like this phone when I first got it because I used to like that little center button.
Oh, I know, that's a huge adjustment.
Yeah. So it took me a minute, but it's okay now. And I'm planning on having this phone until it literally dies on me.
Yeah, that's how I feel about my phone. I'm literally, because I mean, like, I use my phone a lot more now just for, like, editing and stuff like that,
Mhm.
but I'm also like, "Eh, I'll just have it until it literally doesn't work." Like, the battery's still pretty decent.
Same. Coming back to this in the tech savvy world,
Oh, yeah.
um, I feel like encouraging open conversation about, like, mental health and, like, dealing with, like, younger generations at least,
Yeah.
making it a norm is, like, the best way to go about it because as I feel like growing up and not, like, really thinking about, "Well, this is wrong," or feeling this way is kind of normal because everybody does, and you just gotta, like, talk about it, makes it a big deal in our lives because it, reflects, as we're growing up in a more negative way.
Yeah.
Like, you start thinking about certain things, and it's affecting you as a grown-up, and it just takes longer for you to realize, "Oh, like, it doesn't really matter what people think or what people say because what matters is what I think about myself and what I say about myself and what my loved ones say about me or think about me." And by loved ones, I mean, like, my significant other
Yeah.
because family kinda is a little judgy sometimes.
Yeah, and I feel like, it just depends on the family, like, I don't wanna say Mexicans are judgy, but it almost feels that way.
Mexicans are judgy. I'll say it.
And it's just like, sure, not all Mexican families, because obviously there must be some out there that aren't like that, but it's almost like
The newer generation.
that's true. It's that gentle parenting. Because, like, I've even told myself, like, I never wanna make my daughter feel the way I have felt growing up around our family,
Mhm.
where, if anyone were to ever bring up a comment about, like, her body in any type of way, whether it be negative or, positive, I'm like, I don't want her to have any thoughts of self-worth in what she looks like,
Yeah.
because she should know that we are family and we just love each other no matter what you look like, you know? And there's this saying, well, I don't know if it's a real saying, but it's like, you have the power to choose how much what someone says affects you.
Mhm.
So, let's say you go to the store and someone judges your outfit or what you look like, whatever. It's like, you can either just let it go, it's just a comment someone made. Obviously, they must have been having a bad day and they wanted to be rude or something like that. You can choose whether that makes you upset or not. It's like, well, okay, cool, nice, bye.
Yeah, that's true though.
It is.
Like, I feel like we do hold that power to do
You
that.
do.
I know it doesn't have to do with, like, what I'm gonna say right now, it doesn't have to do with, like, this in general, but I have heard this podcast is called, "Unfuck Yourself" or "Unfuck Your Brain." I think it's "Unfuck Yourself."
Oh, I think there's a book called Unfuck Your Brain.
No, then it's "Unfuck Yourself." It's a podcast.
Yeah.
But I listened to one episode and I haven't gone back but I really liked it. It was good. I just haven't had the time because I'm always listening to, like, a bunch of other stuff. But
Yeah.
she made a comment saying how as a person, we let what people do and say affect us so much when we really shouldn't. So, when you're driving and somebody's driving literally on your ass, tailing
Yeah,
you,
oh my
how much does that
god.
annoy people? It annoys me so much.
I Can I put my input real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
I love to go slow on
Me too.
purpose.
I'll go slower on purpose. I'll mess with them that way too.
Mm,
But people, we start, like, cussing them out and be like, "What the fuck, man? Just leave me alone, da da da, whatever, honking your horn, letting it get you into that mood."
yeah,
And now it ruined your day. And
yeah,
we let that happen when in fact they're not doing it to do it to us. That's just how they drive probably.
yeah.
And that's just them. But we let them being them, we let that affect us and we really shouldn't let that affect us.
Yeah, it's like like, obviously, there I mean, some people do things to provoke you, but some people don't do it on purpose,
Yes,
and people who are, like, tailgaters like that, they will only learn the hard way to keep their distance, and usually that's being involved in a wreck.
exactly. So I feel like not letting people affect you in that way can be so good for your mental health that, you feel more at ease and more like you control yourself and you control how you feel
Mhm.
rather than
Yeah.
letting things that are out of your control you.
Yeah.
Because you can't let things that are out of your control how you are now gonna be.
Yeah, that's huge, and, like, that reminds me too of, my like, this has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but that whole controlling you thing just reminded me of when my mother-in-law was babysitting I guess they would be my nephews.
Mhm,
One of them was playing a game and he was getting mad, and she says, "Remember, you are playing the game and you control the game. The game can't control you and your emotions. So if you're getting upset, then you need to get off the game and do something else."
mhm.
That's like something around that. And I'm like, that's actually so true. Like, if you're doing something that's making you frustrated and you can stop doing it, then why don't you stop doing it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You can't go about it and, like, expect different results pretty much too.
Yeah, and then you're like, "Oh, people need to pity me now."
Yeah, exactly. That's what I hear too, like, going back to, like, the whole weight thing, you go about it, like, in my instance, I go about it, and I do the same exact thing every single time, and then what I do is I lose a little bit of weight, I lose, like, 3 or 4 pounds, and I'm like, "Oh, hell yeah," and then I celebrate, and then I don't go back to what I was eating. So so it's kinda like
Yeah.
it's a yo-yo effect. You do it, and then you see progress, and then you stop doing it, and then that's it. Which, I mean, I'm not saying I'm on a diet or anything, but diet I feel like
I thought you
sound like I'm
said
gonna die.
die.
I mean, I'm not on a diet or anything, but I am trying to eat better with, like, eat more nutritious foods and stuff. So if I by me saying I let it go, I mean, like, I go to, like, fast food and stuff, which, I mean, guys, we really shouldn't be eating fast food. It's so bad for you. But
Yeah, oh my gosh, I like,
it's
that's
easy
a
meals,
whole
and I'm just like, like, I just wanna have that easy meal because I didn't have time to cook. I didn't have
it
time to do this because
is,
I wanted to do something
but
else.
also, to if you want an easy meal, I feel like another thing that is really, really good, and I know you don't wanna cook every single time, but there's actually some really good, like, pre-made stuff at, like, stores.
Mhm.
Like, even, just going to the grocery store for, like, a salad kit, like,
Yeah.
those are, like obviously, the dressing's not always, the healthiest, but you don't have to put the whole thing in there. You could just put
Mm-mm.
some of it, and also too, like, I personally have never bought the fresh version, but I've bought, like, the frozen pre-marinated chicken.
Oh,
Like,
yes.
pre-marinated meat makes dinner so much easier.
I do that too.
Yeah, and sometimes I'll do it myself where I'll marinate the or I'll make a marinade and stick the meat in it in a bag and then put it in the freezer. So then when I go to thaw it out, I'm like, "Oh, cool. I just have to, and then we also have frozen vegetables too. And I'll just have to like, "Oh, okay, I can literally just throw that on a cookie sheet or a baking sheet, throw it in the oven, and then dinner's ready."
Yeah, I mean, I do that too sometimes, like, I mean, I don't really like the frozen veggies, but I do like, I'll get, like, the bag of broccoli or something, make it a little bit easier because
Mhm.
it's already pre-cut for me. It's
Yeah.
a little bit more expensive, but it does save me some time. But I
Yeah.
do like the chicken, I'll have, like, Trader Joe's will have they have a Fiesta lime chicken, but then they have one that's it's just regular chicken, no flavor to it.
Mhm.
And, like, I'll do that with maybe, like, fajitas or something, or, like, I'll mix it with some, salad. I'll do, like, something really fast where I don't have to cook for hours and hours and hours,
Yeah. I feel like too
which I do prefer that.
anything that can make your life more simple, and sure it can cost a little bit more, but like people can, that's why they have like diced onions now or pre-minced garlic,
Mhm.
things like that.
And another thing about that, I feel like a lot of times when you go that route, people are like, "Oh, you're just lazy. Oh, you're just lazy." My mom says that, that's why. I bought some, like, pre-cooked chicken or pre-minced, garlic, and she's like, "Oh, I like doing it myself better." I'm like, "Well, yes, we all like doing ourselves better,
Yeah.
but given the fact that I do have to wake up in the morning to go to the gym and then go to work and then do the
Mhm.
podcast and then edit the podcast, it gives me very little time to do stuff
Yeah.
like that. If I had
Yeah.
maybe 4 more hours to my day, then yeah, hell yeah, I would, like, prep my food and do all this and that.
Mhm. Some things you just need to do to save time. Like I love like getting rotisserie chicken because like yeah, you could just eat the chicken, with a side,
Mhm.
but you can also use the chicken for other things like let's say you don't have time to boil chicken, but you can use a rotisserie chicken to make enchiladas.
Yeah, exactly. I know, it doesn't always work this way, I guess, I don't know, but I feel doing it that route sometimes helps you to not be stressed about other stuff.
Yeah.
You're no longer stressed about what you're gonna have for dinner, you already know what you're gonna have for dinner.
Yeah.
So it, helps you a little bit alleviate that mental, blockage of, like, "Okay, I have to make dinner. I have to do this. I have to
Yeah.
do that?"
Yeah, I couldn't imagine, oh, you've been busy all day with work and then you get home and dinner is expected to be made by you. Like if you're living in a home like with your significant other or like a family, and then you don't know what to make for dinner, obviously it's going to take a toll on your brain and you're going to be stressed like, oh my gosh, what am I going to feed my family?
Yeah, exactly. I think to wrap it up, you have to remember that growing up in any era comes with its own unique challenges and joys because I think it was a joy growing up in the 90s. But the key takeaway is to embrace the past, stay grounded in the present, and continue to prioritize mental wellness for ourselves and the next generation too.
Yeah. And I think we're definitely going in the right direction for mental health.
I think so too.
For sure, and, people advocate for that now. I don't know that world peace is probably very, very hard to achieve the more techy we get.
Yes, but mental peace is easier to achieve with some determination.
Be nice to your family, spend time outside, go have a picnic,
Yes.
no phones, go experience life.
Yeah, experience your life. But I also want to say, I found this quote and it said, "Don't raise your kids to have more than you had. Raise them to be more than you were.
Oh, that's nice. I like that.
Raise them to be more than you were." I think that's great.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what we should strive for in a generation. And thank you so much for tuning in with us today. We had a lovely time, and I really hope you guys can't hear that airplane going above me right now.
I heard
Let's leave it in.
it.
Everyday joys here.
Yeah.
One day at a time.
One airplane at a time.
One airplane at a time. I hope you guys had a great time growing up, and I hope you learned a little bit about how we were when we were growing up and the challenges we all face as we grow up.
Yeah, leave us your favorite childhood memory, especially if you grew up in the 90s.
Yeah, tell us how it was. If you grew up in the 90s and it was different for you, let us know how that was. And if you grew up now, which I don't know how young our audience is, but I'm hoping they're at least in their 20s. And let us know how it was growing up for you guys. And remember, our socials will be listed below. Email is at brunchandbanter@gmail.com. Instagram and TikTok at brunchandbanterpod at each respectively at their own sites.
TikTok
I
and
was at
Instagram.
gmail.com. Tune in next time for another episode of Brunch and Banter, which we hope our cousin will be with us then.
Yes, this will be our 2 weeks of no Giselle.
I
Where is
know.
she? She
Missing in
is-
action, having fun.
I know. She's partying it up.
I hope you guys have a lovely rest of your day. And remember to be mentally aware of things going on around you and do not let others impact how you feel about yourself. Bye.
Bye.